Alright, so welcome back to Journey Through Eorzea. This is your captain speaking, so to speak, Tiberius Fox. We are in the Serpent headquarters, and I'm going to look in the wall. Quick disclosure, I have just gone through this giant... So I got a foot pedal, so I can turn the mic on and off without having to hold control all the time. It's just like a thing. I'll have to get used to it, blah, blah, blah. So I went through the whole next section of the game and then fumbled by not actually recording anything. And so, like, I'm super paranoid about it now because I did it once already. But basically, I had to speed run the entire last section of the game, all the way from Sastasha until now, to get back to where I was because I accidentally skipped it. I know I could be lazy and just say, oh yeah, we missed a section. Oh well, cataloging this is important to me, so I went all the way back, speedrun, unsynced, like, 3 dungeons plus Ifrit, the whole thing, did all that, and got, skip until I'm here. So, here we are. Let's continue and see where we are. Alright? Yeah. I'm hoping to get through this somewhat quickly, but at the same time, I mean, it's going to miss any flair I had before, but who cares? You are come to the Adder's Nest, headquarters of the Order of the Twin Adder. Ever do we welcome they who would toil in the elemental's name for the good of our forest nation. I'll just say that. Ah, the great adventurer himself. Yes, our recruitment officer sent word that you were on your way. It is a pleasure and an honor to both welcome you and to our ranks, friend. Now, let me gather the relevant documentation. Sir. What is it? Report. An urgent message from some of these names. Amarasek Spire. Amarasek Spire, sir. A high-wind skyway airship has taken fire for the Imperial forces in the skies over the East Shroud. The vessel's engines were crippled, sir, and it was forced to make an emergency landing southeast of Nine Ivies. Nine Ivies? Gods. There could never come at a worse time. All but a handful of our forces are presently afield, dealing with the Ixal. Tiberius, I know full well you have yet to be formally inducted into our ranks, but we have urgent need of your aid. In all likelihood, the airship was bearing civilians, and if our reports are accurate, it will have come down dangerously close to the Garlean-occupied territory. Please make all haste to this area, southeast of Nine Ivies, locate the airship, and ascertain the status of the passengers. Okay, so yeah, so I want to hook up, a second, small monitor. I have, a little travel monitor I have that it's probably, 10 inches, maybe 12 inches in, across. And I would like to actually set it up so that I can watch and make sure, when I push a button, it actually does what I say it's going to do. Oh, I pushed the button, it is actually recording. Because I don't have, a HUD or anything to do that. So... Oh, wait, what am I doing? I can just go... I gotta go to, we're doing, I went and gotten the Chocobo Porter last time, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna keep making mistakes like I did last time. I had to jump ahead. Alright, should have to go to Hawthorne Hut, I believe? Or is it Bent Branch Meadows? I better double check, because I'll feel stupid if I don't double check and I'm wrong. Hawthorne Hut, okay, good, I was right. Anyway, yeah, so I want to hook that up. And like the boomer that I am, so to speak, I didn't... So my computer, I had a computer I built in 2014, and the thing ran on VGI and VGA and HDMI, and so that was just what I had for 10 years. I had that from 2014 to 2024. And then last year-ish, or maybe late 24, early 25, I bought a new computer. Just a basic, Costco special, whatever, but it was, it's a nice one. And it'll do what I need to do it, because building your own computer is not really feasible anymore, and especially not now that all the prices have skyrocketed with RAM and everything. Anyway, so I went to go do that, and I was like, I'm gonna plug in, I got my HDMI plugged in for my monitor, because I use a big TV on the wall, instead of because I'm a console gamer at heart, so, whatever. So it plugged in with HDMI, and then I went to plug in the other monitor, and then I realized there are no other HDMI parts on this computer. There's only one. All the other ones are just DisplayPort, apparently, if I got that correctly. and I don't know what DisplayPort is. I don't. I've never had anything run on DisplayPort, so all that technology just like flew by me, and I didn't ever know it existed. And it could be around for years. I have no idea. But like my last computer never had it, and nothing I've interfaced with up to this point had it. So when I was like, I want to plug in the second monitor to make this recording a little easier, much like the foot pedal that I got. I got the headset now and the foot pedal, which was pretty cost effective, everything considered. And I was like, yeah, I'll just plug this little monitor in, it'll be perfect. Lo and behold, I can't do that until I get a cord or whatever to make it so I can plug it in, or at least like an adapter, like HDMI. Apparently, my understanding is that you can buy like either the cables or the cord themselves, or like just an adapter. So we'll see how that turns out. But just like I was like, oh man, if I had a second monitor, it'd be perfect. So anyway, that's not why we're here. So I've said my piece. So let's move on and continue and see if we can catch up to where we were. So I did remember mentioning when I was here earlier that this is a part of the game I actually kind of remember. I always, every time I come here to this section of the game, like I'm out here in the twelveswood or whatever, I always remember this part where like the airship has crashed and everything. So I think it's an interesting little thing. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Hang on. I'm gonna fix something real quick. I've still got all my stuff set to when I was doing stuff on my own, and I don't want that to mess me up later. So let's go ahead and undo that again. All right, and then we'll talk to this guy. I also set such very easy, so it'd be fast as possible. I wanted to come on, be a little bit, Anyway, let's school some Garleans, shall we? An adventurer? What are you doing out here? No, wait, let's find some cover first. Acting like I'm out of breath. I am not out of shape in this video game. I'm out of shape in real life. The Adder's Nest sent you? How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have a uniform. Because of the hat, obviously. Peace, friend. We mean you no harm. You are an engineer of Garland Ironworks, are you not? We were alerted to your plight, and have come to rescue you. And you, Tiberius Fox, I presume I was told to expect an honorary serpent. My thanks for your aid, friend. I've never seen a craft of this design. It must be Garland's work. Is there no end to that man's treachery? The secrets of Magitech belong in Imperial hands. They are not to be squandered on Eorzean savages. I like how they talk about us like we're like aboriginals in the middle of Australia. We're taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must, and bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. Imperial scouts from Castrum Orans. That means they requisition the ship. Or they mean to requisition the ship. Wedge, you have to help him. That fool of a Lalafell was hiding inside the tiny Bronco. The tiny Bronco? But isn't that Ironworks' latest creation? It's the first airship we've built since the Calamity. The first since Master Garland, well, since he went missing. I know where he is. But, that's a spoiler. After years of work, she was finally ready for her first test flight, and she was soaring. She really was, till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. Attend me all. The Ironworks' latest creation must not fall into Garlean hands. We must strike them swift and sure and rescue the engineer Wedge. I said the last time I did this too. I don't know where I got the from. Tiberius, I trust we can rely on your support. Alright, they want to scrap, let's scrap. I know that's not what you said, but that's what I'm saying they said. They have all this time to like shoot at us with their bows, but they're just like, nah, we're just gonna stand here, it's cool. And ambushed arms! Alright, let's give them the business. Man, I have got to fix this target prioritization thing. Like, I only changed it because when I was trying to heal stuff, especially like older content when I was doing it before, like, you know, you're thinking like when, put it this way, my settings are the same that they've been for years, or they're default, and I needed them for when I was doing stuff like when you used to have to heal Estinian in, like, was the Aerie or whatever, and then they changed that, so. But, yeah, we'll get there. Maybe after this, I'll take a quick hiatus. I can check and make sure the recording's working fine. I know that's going to be a huge point here, but it took me like 45 minutes of just blitzing to get back to where I was. But no, I can check and see if I can fix the tiger prioritization. Robots! We got Megas XLR out here. I'd be like, oh, chicks dig giant robots, that's what we're doing. Alright. Poison the other guys too. Ah. I like how he keeps lining up like he's gonna attack me, and he goes, "No, I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna attack that guy over there." Biggs. Wedge, you shouldn't have stayed with the ship. That was a close one. Too damn close. How's she look anyway? The auxiliary propeller is a dead loss, but I think we can wring just enough thrust out of the main propeller to get us airborne. A few minor modifications when you should be able to fly the tiny Bronco home. While you do your work, we shall keep watch over the perimeter. The enemy may yet be lurking nearby. As for you, Tiberius, you have more than done your part today. I bid you return to the Adder's Nest and complete your enlistment. I pray there will be no further interruptions. When we next meet, let it be as fellow serpents of the Order. I just wanted to say sorry, you know, for calling you an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Seriously though, if I hadn't been for you and the Twin Adder lads there, we've been chained up in a dungeon by now. I'm in your debt, friend. We both are. Wedge. Thank you. We're very grateful. Alright, so, in the interest of further speeding things along, we'll use I gotta buy some more Twin Adder Ethra tickets because I keep having to go back there, but it is super efficient, just snap and you're right there. Alright, let's take a look at our stuff, we'll be right back. Okay, so I did some target acquisition changes, so hopefully we'll stop targeting random NPCs that work alongside us. So with that, let's keep moving on. Tiberius, it does my spirit well to see you returned. Word arrived but moments ago that the team at Nine Ivies let you worry that 2 engineers are safely on their way. The lieutenant informs me that you were instrumental in the mission's success. Had you not found the engineer Biggs when you did, and helped us to rout the Garleans, things might have been very different. And all this before you were even inducted into the Order. You are well on your way to carving out a fine career for yourself beneath a Twin Adder standard. But without further ado, is that how you spell ado? I thought ado was like A-D-I-E-U. Or am I thinking of like something else? Or, I don't know, whatever, doesn't matter. Let us see to your induction. 12 willing, there won't be any further interruptions. Like Kaiser Dragoon randomly running in. Alright, let's see what's going on. Oh, we're gonna get inducted. Let's go. Protocol requires that I apprise you of who we are and what we do, after which I will invite you to swear an oath of your own free will. The Order of the Twin Adder is the Grand Company of Gridania. It brings together a martial, economic, and technological resources of our nation that we might stand strong in times of direst adversity, when our very survival hangs in the balance. Our order was formed in the days before the calamity, in the readiness to fight the Garlean Empire, and to combat the beast tribes and their primals. Needless to say, our struggle continues to this day. Elder Seedseer Khan E. Senna is the supreme commander of our forces. Under her wise leadership, we protect the people of Gridania and the sanctity of the twelveswood. As the entwined serpents that grace our standard, let forest-born strive as one with friends from afar to ensure the peace shall ever reign in Gridania. In so doing, we will honor the will of the elementals, and theirs is the will of the wood. I mean, I guess sure, yeah. Now then, Tiberius Fox, I ask you to give unto us an oath of allegiance in whatever fashion you see fit. Woods will be done. I shall strike down our enemies and drink of their blood. My life for the Elder Seedseer. I'm doing this one. We're going here. I love it. I just stare back at him and don't say anything. The elementals need not words to know your heart, and there is no doubt in mine that you will prove a stalwart servant to them. I'd like you to prove that. I'd like you to prove that in court. I didn't say anything. By the power vested in me, I assign you the rank of Serpent Private 3rd Class. You are now a man of the Order of the Twin Adder. Go forth, Private Fox, and do that which brings peace to the twelveswood and honor to our name. Alright. Everyone is very jazzed. I like that guy. He's very emphatic in his clapping. Can you hear me, Tiberius? This is Minfilia. An officer of the Order of the Twin Adder contacted me with news of your enlistment. My congratulations, Private Fox. I have no doubt that you are eager to make the acquaintance of your new comrades, but I would ask that you pay a visit to our old ones first. Remember, though you are now a serpent of Gridania, you are no less a scion. Pray return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. There are some friends here whom I'd very much like you to meet. We shall be waiting. The distant call of a friend in need, perhaps? As you are needed elsewhere, I shall not keep you any longer. I would, however, suggest speaking with High Serpent Commander Borsile Heluqua, however you pronounce that, before you depart. He may provide you with assistance on the journey ahead. So one thing I know is last time I was looking into it to see if I actually had to talk to him to get the Chocobo quest, because it points out that if you got to take the Chocobo quest to continue the main scenario, but it doesn't require that I do that. So I don't need to do that. Imagine if it demoted me. Alright, so with that, we have to once again go to the Waking Sands. We're going to go take the airship over to Limps Elements, I think, and then just take the boat. It's just going to be faster. I mean, I guess I could go to Ul'dah and then take a Chocobo Porter all the way out there. You know, I was thinking back about it. Isn't there like how I have the Aetheryte ticket to go there? Isn't there like a Vesper Bay Aetheryte ticket that'll just teleport you there? Am I crazy? Doesn't that exist? Like, it didn't originally exist, but they added it later on. Because, man, that would make our life so much easier. Because, you know what? When we get there, I'm going to go and I'm going to see about looking to see if there's a vendor nearby that sells the tickets or something. Because I'd swear that at some point, maybe it's like an MSQ thing they give you at some point. Like, when I first started, that was not a thing. Because there was yeah, there's no Aetheryte. And I was like, what an oversight to just not think to put an Aetheryte in Vesper Bay with how often they make you go back there. But it's I'd swear they added Aetheryte tickets for Vesper Bay, where you could just teleport there whenever you wanted, which to me is like absolutely amazing. You know, I tell you, I really wish they would add full beards for people, because I would really like that. But I guess it's not in the cards. They'd rather give you the little chin strap beard. Now, if you're like the full hearer, like the Highland hearer, then you get a bigger beard. Oh, sorry, I got to turn around. And if you're Rogadin, you get a full beard. But if you're just like a regular vanilla hire like me, the best you get is the little chin strap beard. I've been asking for that for like a decade, but I don't think it's happening. I mean, they're talking about more, like, what am I thinking? More customization with the mobile version that they're trying to get out that's already out in Japan or whatever. And I'm like, does that include full beards? We're like what, you don't think dudes want beards? Dudes want beards. I mean, I'm glad I get some facial hair, period, but like, every time my wife sees it, she goes, why does your dude have that weird little beard on, like little chin strap thing? And I was like goatee or whatever, and I was like, because that is the maximum amount of facial hair I am allotted. I'm not allowed anymore. I think I mentioned earlier too, in one of the last episodes, but it absolutely blew my mind when I learned that you could take a boat all the way out to Vesper Bay. Because it saves so much time. Again, there wasn't any Aetheryte tickets or anything like that to get you here. So you always had to like take chocobo porters out or run out. Now you can just fly out here if you really want to, but I just think it's funny that it's like, oh, well, you can get here. But no. I might even look up where you get the Aetheryte tickets, because I'd swear that's a thing all of a sudden. I'm just now remembering that. Like, they added it later on. It's like, oh, yeah, hey, here you go. You can get to Vesper Bay whenever you want. I'm like, really? But I'll bet you it's a quest reward or something dumb like that. So it's like, oh, yeah, here's 50 of them, and you'll never need to do it again. So let's take a quick look around town, see if anybody's selling anything like that. Yeah, I'll bet it's like an item that you get for like a quest reward or something. I doubt Crafting Tome Vendor has anything, but we'll take a peek real quick. He does be having a lot of glamour prisms. I don't know what any of those do. I have like 2 glamour prisms. I bought like 20 million of them and then I've never looked back. Like, I bought glamour prisms maybe 7 or 8 years ago and I've been using them passively ever since. So we'll get there from there. It's Ida and Papalimo. Alright. Alright, for everyone else, it's been mere moments. For me, it's been a full day. So what happened was, transparency for fun. It's part of the ride, right? I got here, I was like, I'm going to stop recording for a minute, and I'm going to go off and do what I have to do. And I go off and do it, I come back, I start recording. And lo and behold, it didn't record. So everything that happens after this that I'd done was all wiped. And I was like, well, if I want like a full... Because my goal here is a full accounting of the game. So it's like, all right. Well, the good news is, since then, even though it's been a full day, I have an adapter now, so I have a second monitor, so I can actually see when I'm recording now, instead of before where I had to just kind of guess. Because I didn't want to like alt-tab, because the alt-tab, it messes up the recording, at least it does for me and my computer and everything else. So we got that out of the way. We've got the headset, we've got the foot pedal, we've got the, the second screen. I don't think we can possibly be more decked out than it is. So we'll get on in there. Also, I got some constructive criticism from my wife who, she's like, why are you talking like that? And I was like, well, it's my girl voice, right? Like, it's a little bit higher. But she can't always hear what I'm saying. So I'm going to try to project my voice a little. I don't know. I promise nothing. It's probably going to sound exactly the same because I'm already trying to do a girl's voice. It's weird. So, this is just as much for me as for her at this point, because she doesn't know what happens in the story of this game, so she's vicariously living through this and learning everything as much as I am. So with that all out of the way, with like a minute and a half of me explaining, let's get in there and actually get this going. Welcome back, Tiberius. Lady Minfilia awaits you within. Welcome back. It seems you wasted no time in putting your skills to work. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called to regale me with the tale of your heroics. The pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us, Tiberius. Now, when we last spoke, I said that I wanted you to meet some friends, did I not? Well, I neglected to mention that you have already met. Totaro, please show them in. It's funny, because it's like the third time I've done this. Anyway, the first time I saw this, I was sure it was Eorzea and Alphino, and it was not at all them. Especially when she calls them sirs, and I was like, are we referring to Eorzea as a sir? I mean, I guess you could do that, but yeah. No, it's Biggs and Wedge. Thanks again for getting us out of that mess. We owe you our lives. But I don't think we've properly introduced ourselves. I'm Biggs. And I'm... Gods, man, spit it out, will you? Wedge, at your service. I am pleased to say that Biggs and Wedge will be staying with us for a while. Magitech-driven contraptions such as the airship grow ever more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. As a neutral party, it is judged the Scions should be served as the keepers of this technology. Of course, for this we needed the knowledge of experts, and so we requested the assistance of Garland Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happy family continues to grow. On behalf of the Scions, I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. Like every soul here, I love Eorzea, and I count myself blessed to have been given this chance to stand with you all and fight for the future of the realm. Never have I known such fulfillment and such happiness. I'm trying to kind of remember what I said before when I did this like 2 times ago. The thing I noticed was that Minfilia's whole like I love Eorzea thing, you could compare it to Wuklamat, but like Minfilia's, while bland, and if I apologize if I've said any of this before, but I'm trying to kind of recount like what I have and haven't recorded at this point. So hopefully, with everything finally set up the way it's supposed to be, there will be less of this problem going forward. Anyway, my point I was trying to make was that Minfilia, like, while bland, at least like her character is interesting. Like she's trying to like solve problems in the realm and everything, whereas Wuklamat fails because she loves Papa's peace and all this other whatever, and it's like, I don't know, it's just not convincing, and it's not nearly as compelling, because whereas you could say that Zorolja and them like maybe taking over and they have like questionable ambitions or like hard-headed ambitions is bad. I mean, the threat of the primals is a here and now thing. It's not a hypothetical thing, where like, well, maybe this will happen. It's already happening. The primals are already showing up and they're already causing trouble. So the idea that like, they're causing trouble, it's not that surprising to me. So I don't know. I just think even though Minfilia is bland, I think she is a more compelling, similar character, where they both want for the prosper of their place. But like, at least Minfilia seems to know about her area. Right, whereas like Wuklamat didn't seem to know anything about Taral, despite having lived there the whole life and lived in Tuliolal or whatever her whole life. So, all right, let's see what Minfilia is up to and see where we're going next.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Eorzea, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldesion?
We always be getting documents from the students of Baldesion. Let's be real.
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
I really don't think Ida should be talking to anybody or doing any diplomatic relations whatsoever.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramu's existence is well documented, the sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained, until such time as we know. It would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
Like, I guess that's a practical concern, but at the same time, just maybe it's the way that she worded it. I don't know. It just sounds dumb. When my wife was watching it with me, she goes, "Is this brought a bobblehead or what? Like, what is going on?" I was like, "No, that's just Ida. She just like that." I was like, and spoiler, that's not even who that is. So, you know.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
I'm be real. Of the 3 original primals, I definitely always thought Titan was the hardest. I had a hard time figuring out, because early on, they've changed it since then. We'll get there when we get there, but Titan was always the scariest one to me, because he has the rock bombs, and he has the thing where he can push you off, and then back in the day, you couldn't be respawned out of that fight. Like, you died, and that was your punishment for dying and getting pushed out, was you couldn't be revived. And so it really hurt teams' chances. But, Garuda's the scariest one, I guess.
In short, it is essential that we approach the sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us?
No.
I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
The thing I think is interesting is they all have kind of like, the dudes at least, all have like a passing version of being kind of snobby. Like, we're so educated, and we're played for being very educated and very smart, and we just happen to know more than everyone else.
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
That particular piece of dialogue, I've watched that 3 times now in the last few days. It doesn't stop being funny. I don't know. It just doesn't stop being funny. It's just, I don't know who wrote that and gave that line delivery and was like, yep, that's the thing. All right, I'm trying to use our adder nest ticket so we can go there really fast. I got all the way to where you would. This episode's probably gonna be longer. It's gonna be like, I know it's a late time to say that, but it's likely gonna be longer because I'm trying to make up for lost effort to a degree. So I'm tempted to play this all the way to the end of part 2, which I'm not sure how long the episode will be, but maybe I'll put a disclaimer in the very beginning or something. But because I've gone on and on about the recording problems I've had, but now I think we're squared away. I know when I'm recording at all times, so all right. Morning, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today. Ida and Papalimo, always a pleasure to see the 2 of you. My men tell me your quest in the name of the Scions of late. Quite so, Commander. A little bird told us the Twin Adder was in need of our adventuring prowess. Ah, your little bird sings true. No doubt you've heard that we're investigating the sylphs, the curious little beast tribe that calls the depths of the twelveswood home. The sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceable bunch, much to the delight of the elder Seedseer, who has no desire to see her people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. The Twin Adder is of the same mind. 'Tis precisely the reason that the sylphs' relation to the primal Ramu has raised a flag of warning amongst our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Should there be even a sliver of a chance that summoning of the primal might disturb the balance between Gridania and the sylphic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better be safe than sorry indeed. Do we strike at Ramu, or leave the sylphs to their own ways? That is the question, yet I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Gridania, but to listen to only one's own is among the greatest mistakes a commander can make. I would hear from the other side, the sylphs themselves, and seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That is where you scions come in. The sylphs of Little Solace remain untempered, and have held many a productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on the tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise caution. Sylphic tradition and etiquette bears little resemblance to our own. It would not do to have any cross-cultural faux pas get in the way of productive parley. En route to Little Solace, you will come upon the Hawthorn Hut. Our officer stationed there can enlighten you as to how to win the sylph's favor. May your expedition be a worthwhile one. A friendly palaver with the sylphs. This should be a pleasant enough diversion. The Hawthorn Hut, was it? Why, I believe the ferry departing from West Shore Pier should take us straight there. A friendly palaver, indeed. I hope this will be as straightforward as you say, Papalimo. I straight up forgot about the boat last time and just took a choke reporter all the way to Hawthorn Hut. Because, one, the boat, like, I've been there, but I don't think I can take. That is a tiny dragoon. But, yeah. I just totally forgot about this boat. There's a lot of boats in this game, but I forgot about a lot of them, and this is one of them. That's a Realm Reborn for content for you. You just totally forget about it. Man, they should really bring back job quests. Role quests suck. I'm just gonna that thing. Aye, the ferry docked at the base of this hill will carry you across the lake to the East Shroud. It's probably like, that's a lady. Whatever. Once you're ashore, head due east and you should find Hawthorn Hut without much trouble. People all wearing masks all the time, can't tell what they look like. I happen to be heading across the lake to Sweet Bloom Pier in East Shroud. Well, there you go. That works out. They just need a chocobo porter, like, right here. Oh, that guy's teleporting. A level 69 Dragoon. If it wasn't for the absolutely sweet hand signs and the little ninja things that you can do as a ninja, I think I've mentioned this before, I would much rather be playing Dragoon. One thing I will mention, get up there, and again, I went back and looked through my recordings to figure out exactly where I was in terms of, like, you know, you try to record something, you remember doing something, but then you find it's another recording, so I introduced my chocobo last time, and so I'm going to be doing that again, largely because I don't believe that's in any of my recordings, and we're going to do it again, so we're doing it live, or, you know, metaphorically speaking. When I was coming through here last time, there was a dude standing on top of this tree. I sat on top of that tree for hours. It's one of the places. Remember I mentioned that other area where I sat on the bench or whatever? This is another one. I just sat on top of that. And like as the sun would change, like the shadows would come in and everything else. It was really cool. But indeed, I am Elaine of the Twin Adder. I understand you're here to learn of the sylphs, yes? For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot, particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. Earn their trust, however, and they're as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all, no? Would you know more You do well to speak to the master of this hut, Rolf. He's forgotten more about the sylphs than I'll ever know. That's right, it's Dementia Guy, or whatever. Sorry, that last one, I had trouble with that last time, too. Come to learn a thing or two about sylphs, have you? I'll tell you one thing, they're peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. Beg pardon, friend. My memory's just not what it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all about clutter in my noggin now. Though I have shared my stories with those around the hut before, you might have more luck with them. Alright, let's talk to some peeps. The sylphs? Yes, my father's told me his stories plenty of times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You do best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest you end up on the mess of the glyphs, squiggles, and choco scratches. Tee-hee. Yeah, that's right, I said tee-hee. I don't make a tee-hee noise, I just say tee-hee. The quickest way to a quiverwoman's heart might be through her stomach, but don't think that trying to foist your foodstuffs on a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun, or so Rolf once told me. There we go. The sylphs? Invertebrate tricksters and troublemakers, that's what they are. One day they're drawing mortal faces on our masts, and the next thing they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Tell them to stop and they just laugh at you. Rolf claims they harbor no ill will, but I dare say such pranks are no laughing matter. Alright. We've talked to your peeps. Oh, of course. Hearing your stories, well, my stories has brought back the memories flooding back. I feel like dancing. And then he just literally starts dancing. Yes, nothing brings people together quite like a little toe tapping. A sylph told me long ago that dancing is a time-honored tradition, or honored greeting among their kind. You do well to remember this. It may just help you win the favor of our forest friends. Oh, still here, eh? Great. There's one more thing you should know about the sylphs. They don't take kindly to guests showing up empty-handed. To earn their trust, you do well to bring along a, what was it again? My wife Rosa and I were just speaking of the matter not days ago. Forgive me, friend. Speak to Rosa at the comb. Her memory should prove more reliable than mine own. Alright, let's go talk to the honeybee lady. Alright, we're not going far, but we're gonna let's pop some chocobo goodness here. Good news is I already had this. I had to spend time last time getting my gashel greens ready. Anyway, background information on me. Big Halo fan, so my chocobo's name is Mjolnir. This is Mjolnir. He has the flying hat thing because when flying came out in Heaven's Ward, I was absolutely stoked. I spent so much time getting through the main quest enough to where I could do it, and then running around and doing the whole quest you had to do to unlock flying. And then finally, when I first got to fly, it was like I'd reached the mountaintop. I couldn't believe it. I could fly anywhere I wanted. And then also, he's called Mjolnir because like armor, his first job was a tank, which is why he wears the tank armor. And then the last one is just I don't really have a good reason for the purple things. They're from I forget, the Alamegan chocobos or whatever. I just thought they looked cool, and there was a reason for those, but I don't remember. But anyway, so Mjolnir's going to come with us, and we will ride him to our next destination, and he will now be helping us in all of our adventures. I'll be avoiding flying for the most part. I'm probably not going to try flying through any areas until we reach Heaven's Ward. Trying to keep this as I don't know what you want to say. Unless we run into a situation that would really be a lot easier if we just flew. And I don't just mean normally easier. I mean oh, this is a huge nuisance. We should fly, make it easier. Otherwise, I'm trying to keep things as authentic as possible. So, all right, let's talk to this lady. A peace offering for the sylphs? Were it anyone else, I'd recommend a jar of honey, but I fear that wouldn't get you past their own front doorstep, dear. No. Their tastes run more to the unusual. Are you perchance familiar with milkroot? That's what we call the root of the most fiendish seedkin, the ochu. When chewed, it exudes a cloudy liquid that's said to induce curious visions in the imbiber. You'd not catch me dead trying this stuff, but the sylphs seem to enjoy it to no end. I've not seen the ochu around the comb in quite some time, but I did encounter a suspicious clump of grass the other day. Were you to stimulate it somehow with some of this amber syrup, for example, you might be able to be surprised what comes out. Good luck. Alright, let's go get some questionable gym jams with the Ochu. Purple smoke. Let's get the stuff. Alright. Alright, we gotta go back to the Hawthorne thing. The other day I was thinking about it and I realized that chocobos are not traditionally white, but I spend much time on that. There's so many things in this game that I've done that I did so long ago that I don't even remember, like when they made custom colors and everything. And I was like, I want my chocobo to be like Snow White. And so I did. I found Snow White as color. And Mjolnir has been Snow White ever since then. Although I've been thinking about it because his name is Mjolnir, I should make him like a dark, like forest sage green. But I don't know. I was just like, white chocobo looks cool. So. Ah, you're back. Was my wife able to direct you to a suitable offering? Milkroot, but of course, those sylph quaff that cloudy stuff as quick as I do a flagon of mead. The effect's just about the same as well. Any road, a gift of Milkroot will have the sylphs calling you friend and brother the moment they lay eyes on it. Now, let me wrap up that for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. Alright, well, all of us go next, I guess. I've taken the liberty of wrapping up Milkroot up well and good. This should keep it nice and fresh, not to mention spare you that god's awful stench. The sylphs love the stuff, but me, I'd rather bury my nose in chocobo dung. I dare say the reek even rivals the breath of the morble that put an end to my venturing days. But I can tell you that story another time. You've much more important matters to attend to, yes? The sylphs are an eccentric bunch, but I've shared their company enough to know that they're kind at heart. They'll not shun one whose intentions are true. May you parley be a fruitful one, friend, and do stop by on your return. There's a flagon of full flower mead with your name on it if you regale me with your adventuring tales. And before I forget, don't go traipsing off just yet. Emmeline here would like to have a word with you. Travel in safety, friend, and do pass along my regards to the winged ones. It's good to see your knowledge of sylphic culture has matured. I see no reason to delay your mission any further. Upon arrival in Little Solace, seek out a young sylph by the name of Comoxio. He has served as an intermediary between the peoples on many an occasion and has a close ear to his tribe's elder. I see the Hawthorne has furnished you with some of the malodorous root of the sylphs to so adore. I have something of a far greater import of you to deliver, a missive from the elder seedseer herself. To summarize the letter's contents in brief, it vouches for the integrity of our envoy, and that would be you, and restates Gridania's desire to maintain a harmonious relationship with long-standing friends of the forest. The war with the Exile has taken a toll on our resources. We can't ill afford to get mired in another conflict. I need not impress upon you any further the importance of this mission. May the 12 see you return with good tidings. You know, I was thinking about it just now. I understand they're like short-staffed and everything, and that I've proven to be pretty good at this. But like at the same time, we have to like acknowledge, right, that they're sending someone who is brand new to their ranks and has, while proven himself abroad, not within the ranks like at all, and they're just sending him on this really important mission, which I think is kind of funny. It's like, well, we gotta, like, the how well this goes, it kind of determines everything that goes forward in this area, so don't mess it up. And they're like, well, who should we send? How about that guy? We could just send that guy. And I'm like, all right, I guess that's the one way to do it. Walking One is not familiar to this one. This one does not trust strange walking ones. Strange dancing ones might be a different story, but this one expects no such thing. Walking One should go home and leave this one be. Alright. So we gotta dance. So slash dance. Oh gosh. Oh no, my keyboard doesn't want to work for some reason. Alright, hang on. Fun fact, I just figured out. So it turns out, I think I figured out why my recording wasn't working. If I have my foot on the new pedal I bought, that all it does is just react as a key on the keyboard. If I'm pushing that while trying to use my keyboard will not work. So I had to let off of it before it would actually do anything. So now I know that. That'll help me a lot. This one would welcome Walking One who moves like these ones. If Walking One would talk to this one, this one will answer. This one is a busy one, so Walking One should speak with quick tongue. Because I'm guessing what happened is I put my foot on the pedal when I was starting or something like that. I tried to push the thing to start recording, and it didn't happen when I tried to use the hotkeys. Anyway, Walking One would bring gifts to this one. Walking One is most kind. Walking One brings milk root. Milk root fills this one with great joy. This one gives thanks. Gives many, many thanks. Walking One carries message for Elder One. This one will deliver the message to Elder One. Walking One should not worry. Hello there. We're envoys from Gridania, and we're here to treat you with your people. Aye, we come to pay our respects to your elder and learn from him more of your Lord Ramu. Who are these ones? These Walking Ones come from Gridania? Walking Ones became Dancing One and brought milk root, but Walking One tricks this one. This one does not like tricks. This one will speak no more. Elder One is busy. Walking Ones should go home. Go home, you say, but the sylphs of Little Solace have always welcomed Gridanian envoys with elfin wings. The letter carried by Tiberius here is an oath of peace penned by the Elder Seer herself. Still you would refuse us? This one's reasons are no business of Walking Ones. Elder One has no words for Gridania. Walking Ones waste everyone's time. Well, I never turned away at the gates. Whatever did we do to deserve such a rude welcome? Was Tiberius's jig insufficiently jiggy? I get jiggy with it. I'm old enough to get jiggy with it. Come on. I'm as baffled as you, but something tells me the recent events have our erstwhile fluttery friends feeling uncommonly wary. It would seem we've no choice but to ask around and see how we might earn their trust. Say, Tiberius, are you in the mood for dancing? That's right, dancing. You went through all that trouble to learn the sylphs' traditional greeting, but you've greeted hardly any of them. Why, if I were a sylph, I'd be beside myself with the delight to see an adventurer expressing interest in my culture. Me? Of course I'd be happy to join. Ow, ow. Oh? There goes those bloody leg cramps. Oh, it was ow, okay. Ow, ow. There goes those bloody leg cramps of mine acting up again. Okay, so I need to do slash dance for sylphs in Little Solace. Alright. Well, being as we now know that I can't do a dub, please watch in silence as I cut just the fattest rug that you've ever seen. I thought I had to talk to this person. I don't. Alright. Ooh, Walking One knows Jolly Dance. Jolly Dance fills this one with good cheer. Let these two be friends. You know what these guys remind the way they talk? Because they call themselves this one all the time, it reminds me of the Hanar in Mass Effect, like those jellyfish dudes. It's just like that. Walking One would be a friend to these ones? This one is overjoyed, but this one keeps the ways of weaving a secret. Even if the Walking One learned the secret, Walking One could not weave in the same way. Yeah, they're just like the Hanar to me. I almost realized that I was kind of doing like a Hanar impression without intending to. These bug dudes should get out of here. Ah, Walking One is a friend to these ones, friendly like the gracious Elder One of Forest City, knows how to dance in these ones' hearts. Or into. Tiberius, would you like to hear the good news or the better news? I assume you're talking about Jesus Christ, the best news, the good news. The good news is that the lovely dancing has brought smiles and high spirits to all Little Silas. The better news? Why, I have thoroughly recovered from those accursed leg cramps. Onward to our next adventure. I mean, that news is okay, I guess. Tiberius, as an adventurer, you're no stranger to helping distressed folk, I'd wager. Tales of good deeds are quick to spread. The adventurer who comes to the aid of the local populace can go to the stranger, to the hero o'ernight. No doubt that you see what I'm getting at. The sylphs who make their home in Little Solace do so being given on the... Who make their home in Little Solace do so having been driven from their woodland home. Surely they have their fair share of troubles. Seek out the troubled sylphs and see what you might do to ease their worries. A sound plan, would you not say? That said, the sylphs are not known to share their worries with outsiders. You would be better to inquire with Hera Emedia, the Gridanians who reside here. She is most likely to be privy to the sylphs' troubles. I was looking around, I was like, who? I saw some people around, but they were over there. Praise be to the elementals. I cannot express how happy I am to see an adventurer with a truly gentle heart. The sylphs of Little Solace are sorely in need of aid. Pray hear me out. Being a temporary settlement, Little Solace wants for amenities, but not at least a stout set of defenses. Consequently, beasts from the malms around are free to wander in and terrorize the hapless residents. I was just talking about that. The Zizgorlins and Gallnats that roam these parts are especially tiresome, but slaying one of each should serve as a warning to the rest. Furthermore, perhaps you could gather 3 brownie bushes as well. They play an important role in sylphic culture. I do claim to know the details of what is such a feral beast prowling in force, but they cannot easily come by. When you are done with the deed, seek out Comuxio. He is slow to warm to outsiders, but your good intentions will not be lost on him. Mine own experience speaks to this. Well, let's go kill some stuff. Dancing one is still here. Dancing one can dance all day. This one's trust is not so easily earned. Dancing one brings brownie brushes for this one. This one can dye thread once more. This one is pleased. Dancing one kills bitey buzzy one. This one hates bitey buzzy ones. Dancing one is kind, too kind. Many walking ones can come to these one's abode, but few are friendly like dancing one. Perhaps this one was wrong not to trust dancing one after all. This one asks dancing one for forgiveness. These ones are many troubles since the walking ones last came to our abode. This one must be careful, always careful. Oh, raining. But dancing one is not like other walking ones. This one can trust dancing one. This one would ask dancing one for help. Strange walking ones with bodies of steel came into the home of these ones. This one thinks steel ones come from Empire. Where Empire goes, many living ones become dead ones. Trees fall and bushes burn. These ones' home is in danger. Danger! This one begs of Dancing One to help us with one no more. Dancing One, friends with these ones, walking ones, yes? Dancing One must speak to these ones here and walking ones in Hut House and find out more. This one has bad feeling. This one fears Steel Ones are onto something, or after something. But this one should go speak no more. Go Dancing One. This one depends on kindness of Dancing One. I'm not 100% sure what we were doing there, but we're doing it. Strange steel walking ones? Yes, this one is seen. Steel walking ones carry big boxes. Maybe walking ones hunt for shiny treasure. This one likes treasure. Yeah, so that's one way to do it. Okay, see, there's somebody back here, and then I got a bunch of other ways, so we'll go this way first. Shush, shush. This one says steel walking ones are scary, like touched ones. This one hates scary, and scary ones have scary friends. Alright, and I'm assuming the other one, I think he said it was at Hawthorne Hut. Now, let's just do a quick little 100 guild dip over to Hawthorne Hut. Men clad in strange armor? Why, now you mention it, I did see some suspicious types of late. They were gathering deep in the forest. I simply assumed they were adventurers. Well, they weren't. You're not a very good guard, are you? Fearsome types clad in head-to-deal in steel, you say? Imperial soldiers, no doubt. I couldn't tell you what they're plotting, but I'm sure it's nothing good. I'll wager you're probably right. Except for, the Empire was right the whole time. One of my favorite memes is the Gaius Van Belsar was right meme. Not everyone will like that meme, but I love that meme. That meme's great. It's just funny. And it gets the right people salty. Yeah, so. Alright, so we've got all that done. We're still trying to get the sylphs, and hey, checking in on second monitor, we're still recording and everything isn't broken, so that's like a triple, quadruple, ultra win as far as I'm concerned. Alright, so talk to Muxio. This one is happy to see Dancing One return. What did Dancing One learn? This one sees steel walking ones come from the Empire, carry boxes and go walking deep, deep through trees. As this one thought, steel walking ones were up to no nasty, no good things. This one knows forest well. Steel walking ones try to hide, but this one will find them. This one will borrow Dancing One's map. This one makes dark right here, or makes mark right here. This one is where steel ones hide. This one knows. Dancing One will go looking for steel ones. Yes. Why, as a matter of fact, I will. Alright, let's mix it up. Let's Mount Roulette it. Let's go. What do we get? Oh, it's the overly expensive motorcycle from my pay pig days. Let's go. I'm going to have to go that far, so go right over here. No big deal. Oh. I had $1 for every time I accidentally had the wrong hotbar out. Alright, suspicious box. Let's go. More expensive mounts. Dancing One is back. This one breathes a sigh of relief. This one was worried. Dancing One found something? Dancing One found paper inside a box? This is a message from Empire. This one can read Walking One's symbols. Message paper has names of food and rocks. Food and rocks were inside boxes. This one knows. But this one does not understand. Food and rock mentioned all come from home of these ones. How does Steel Walking Ones know to find them? Is there a sneaky one hiding behind this one's writing, snooping ones, selling secrets to steal walking ones? This one fears for this one's home, but dancing one has helped this one much today. Dancing one must promise to always be a friend to these ones. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll have a beer later. Helpful one arrives in a good time. This one needs helpful one's help. One of these ones named Claxio ventured outside Little Solace alone. Alone is unsafe. The helpful one must find Claxio. I bet Claxio is like a traitor or something. If I understood what she was saying correctly, I'm guessing that Claxio is a traitor. Claxio struck west after leaving settlement. Hurry before Claxio ends up belly of beastly one. I could be completely wrong. I'm just saying. I thought she was saying that someone was going behind someone's back, so I was assuming. Assuming? Every time I say the word assuming now, the first thing I hear is all of the Dagoth memes. And there's one, it's a video. And he's talking about it, and he's talking to a dude who he's like, well, I assumed you would be like a Dwemer or whatever, or like, I forget, like the Night Elf or whatever. But he's an Argonian, and he's being racist. And so he's being mean to the guy, and he's like, assuming? I wasn't assuming anything. He's like, I was really expecting you to be this, because you were this the last 12 times. Anyway, that's enough of the distraction. What? Walking one wants this one to return to Little Solace? Don't make this one laugh. This one is wary of living with those who are not these ones. This one wants to be alone. These ones rely on walking ones for everything. No better than those who summoned a primal one. Small wonder this one chose to leave. This one thought that this is a likely place to build a home. But then Meddling One arrives, forces this one to go deeper into the forest. Meddling One is forbidden from following this one. Away with Meddling One. It's another stealth mission, or a modern mission. Alright, so we're going back to Camoxio. This is another one of those mounts that I think I talked about, but I'm not sure. Rygo was such a big thing. I played so much PvP to get this mount. But that was like when it first launched. It was like a limited time thing. Now it's not like it's hard to get, but at the time it was like it was a one and done. You did it, you got it within the time, like the month that it happened, or you didn't. I had to do a ton of like, you do like, it was pre-Crystalline Conflict. I think the Feast was still out. So you had the Feast, and then you had Shatter, and then you had to, I think, like there was 3 different things you had to do, but you had to like get both of them. You had to get like so many wins in the Feast and so many wins in Shatter. Anyway. But this one saw untouched ones lurking in the forest. Helpful one must hurry and find Claxio. Helpful one should search for spools of thread on the forest floor. Those things will lead helpful one to Claxio. But hurry before the touched ones take Claxio away. I mean, that's fair. Alright, so we're going back. And of course my Before I Knew Town Trail was going to be mediocre. And I got the collector's edition. Mostly because I knew it played the Final Fantasy IX music, and I, like I said before, Final Fantasy IX is one of the few Final Fantasies I've played. I'm a big fan. Also, I remember the Dragoon's name. I think it's Freya, if I'm not mistaken. Could be crazy, but I think it was. Oh, single player duty! Always looking to scrap. Meddling One is back. This one told Meddling One to be gone. Tell Camoxio this one will never go back. Never. Touched one should go away too. This one is good one. Everyone should just leave this one alone. Be on guard, Tiberius. These sylphs have been tempered, brought under the thrall of the primal Ramu. Akin to the almjaws tempered by Ifrit, these sylphs exist only to serve their deity. They'll not answer to words, only steal. I take no pleasure in this, but it must be done. Rama seems like a chill dude, but tempering people is still not cool, so... Oh, I have the volley thing now. You know the crazy thing about... How is my targeting still wrong? I thought I fixed that. Anyway, no, the thing that's crazy is, like, the volley thing used to be, like, your level 50 skill. And then they were like, no, and then they got rid of it for a long time. And then now they brought it back, and it's like it's a little bit different, but the little flip you do with the arrows coming down, I think that was your level 50 bard skill back in the day. A marlbow. Listen, lady, you gotta calm down. Alright, just don't get poisoned or whatever, alright? I can't be everywhere at once. Focus attack on the sylphs. The sylphs are gone. Alright. This one is safe. This one was so scared. Claxio, this one has been worried. So very worried. Is Claxio unharmed? Still in possession of wits? Camuxio? The meddling one as well? Why are these two here? These two came to rescue Claxio. The Claxio's safe fills this one with joy. Camuxio, forgive this one. This one did not mean to run away from Little Solace. This one was just afraid. These ones who live at Little Solace were changing, becoming friendly with other ones. This one feared if these ones were forgetting who these ones are, like touched ones did, but this one was wrong. This one can now see that now. Meddling, helpful one. This one is grateful. This one will return to Little Solace and to be with Camuxio and friendly ones. Making a difference. Well, you should see to that. What say return to Little Solace as well, for one could do with a nice hot bath. Is that a joke? I don't know. And then here's another story. So I wanted this car, right? But you had to do the whole quest line, right? And right at the very end, like right before the end of that event, where you did the Final Fantasy 15 event for the car, and like, well, you had to do everything so you could go buy the car with MGP. I was going and I got disconnected from the server, and then it wouldn't let me go back into the game. Like, the server just dropped that night. And I was like, well, it turns out there was only like 2 days left in the event, and I couldn't actually get back into it. But I was so determined to get this that instead of abandoning the quest, because I was like, no, I'm not abandoning the quest, I went back and I like hid the quest, so it wouldn't be my quest line, but I could look for it in my journal if I really wanted to. And then what happened was, I think like 2 years later or something like that, they did the thing again. And all I had to do, because I was right before the fight, all I had to do was do the fight at the end where you fight like Ifrit, like the fancy Ifrit, and then I was done. And so I undid it. I like unhid the quest, and it turned out I could just resume right where I was, even though the quest had been like buried for 2 years. And I did it, went and bought my car, and now I've had my car since. So I was it was a fun little thing. I was like, it's just so stubborn. This one thought Claxio was lost forever. Helpful One saved Claxio. Now these ones can be family again. This one has known many walking ones, even many kind walking ones, but Helpful One is the kindest and strongest of all. Helpful One is a hero to these ones. Helpful One will bring these ones, walking ones, closer together. This one knows. This one would take Helpful One to see Elder One. But Elder One is... Oh... This one must ask Kind One's forgiveness. This one made promise to take Kind One to see Elder One, yes, but this one cannot. This one cannot because Elder One is not here. Elder One is not anywhere. Elder One went into forest yesterday, but has not come back. This one is worried. Elder One goes into forest, but never for this long. Kind One go help find Elder One, yes? Near where the Elder One is disappeared is the home of the walking one named Buskaran. That name's familiar. Buskaran may know what happened to Elder One. This one would talk to Buskaran, but walking ones do not always trust these ones. Would Kind One talk to Buskaran for this one? And Kind One comes from Gridania, yes? In Gridania live many kind ones, yes? This one begs of Kind One, please go to Gridania and ask fellow Kind Ones for help. And please hurry, these ones are not safe until the Elder One returns. So I gotta go back to the Adder's Nest and talk to some peeps. Alright. Well, if it isn't our intrepid ambassador, how fare your diplomatic efforts with the Sylph tribes? Their elder's gone missing, you say? Why, if he were to end up in the hands of the Tempered Ones, we'd have a crisis on our hands. You can assure the Sylphs that my sharpest-eyed serpents will be the one on lookout night and day. No stone must be left unturned. I would ask you to call upon Gaia Malkal at Bent Branch Meadows to deliver the message that the Wood Whalers are needed in the search effort. Okay. Speak to Brada at Bent Branch Meadows. So that was Hawthorne Hut, so it's not Bent Branch Meadows, but you know what we'll do. Do you know how we're gonna get there? Because you're thinking, oh, we could ride the Choco, we could ride Mjolnir, right? We could ride any mount, we could fly there. But you know what we're gonna do? Take him a Chocobo Porter. I know you guys didn't see that one coming, did you? That was completely just blindsided you out of nowhere. You were like, oh gosh, it's just, how are we gonna get there? It was a mystery, and then all of a sudden, he just suddenly took that 90-degree turn, and it was suddenly a Chocobo Porter. Amazing. Got naked people out doing magic. This neighborhood's just not safe anymore, man. What's his name? Kryle Baldessian? What? Like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody just blatantly named after a character from the game before. Hang on, she's still over there? Inquiring minds still need to know she's gone. She's gone forever. Alright. A message from Commander Heloix. I gotta ask my wife. My wife knows French. I gotta ask her how to pronounce this at some point. Heuloix. I'm sure it's something ridiculous, but, you know, whatever. The Sylph Elder has vanished? Worry not, friend. The Wood Whalers have eyes under every leaf, behind every branch. If the Elder is anywhere in these forests, we shall find him. Alright, so now we gotta go to Buscarin and Buscarin's Druthers. Where's Buscarin's Druthers? So that's over by Quarry Mill. Well, you know, I won't jerk you guys' chain this time. We're gonna take a Chocobo Porter, because then I can take a drink of my beverage. Oh gosh, I can't. I can't take one. Not from here anyway. All right, we're cheating. We're teleporting to Quarry Mill. Oh man, I don't know if we've been over there yet. Not since we replayed anyway. Yeah, I don't think we've been here since, like, the whole thing, so... Well, let's go. Let's go find Buscarin. I remember Buscarin's Druthers, though. Like, one day, my friend and I, we just sat and talked while we were sitting in the proverbial bar. It was, like, the closest to RPing I've ever done in my life. We just sat here in this camp. Because we were here for something, and we stopped here. We think we stopped here because there's a fate where people have, like, a fist fight or whatever. And so we did the fist fight fate, and then, like, we're like, yeah, let's just, like, go inside and see what's going on. And the rest is history, you know what I mean? Well met, adventurer. We have the finest grog and grub this side of... Huh? Not here to fill your belly, then? Hunger for news, is it? It's been talk of the sylph lurking hereabouts, but I couldn't really say if it's the elder you seek. Those woodland scamps all look alike. shortened painting with one red and one blue. Most folk would struggle to tell the two of them apart. If you have the time, mayhap you could stay a while and see what the gods have in store. You never know, you might even stumble across the sylph elder yourself. It's awfully convenient for you to say. No word on the sylph elder yet, but I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time. In the meantime, how about doing a favor for old Buscarin in return? Right, then let's put you to work. There's a customer outside who's spoiling for a fight, and I need you to cool him off for me. No need to crack any skulls, though. Just take a tub of cold water and douse the drunkard. Tends to do the trick. My patrons can swill grog all night and carouse loud enough to wake the dead if they wish, but as soon as it turns violent, I've got to put my boot down. This is kind of what I was reminded of. It was like a fate, but I think they actually fight instead of just like being mad at me pouring a bucket of water on them. Ugh, Nafika's teeth, that's cold. Just caught me off guard. What do you mean, no fighting? This dust scum was... Yeah, I know the rules. That bastard gets to keep his skin for now. Alright. Nicely done, Tiberius. I'll not have my patrons picking fights with each other over a bit of petty prejudice. In case you didn't see, the bloke who caught the brunt of the outburst is a dusk-white Elizin. There are people who shun cities to live in the wilds, making them no better than the brigands in the eyes of many. To be fair, Duskrites can be an unruly lot, but they ain't so bad once you get them to know them. And I don't seem right to have bar a whole race of people who the druthers of for the misdeeds of a few. There should be at least one place where anyone willing to pay coin and drink in peace is welcome, don't you think? I appreciate all the work you've done for our patrons. If you aren't disinclined, I hope a favor of my own to ask you. There is a Kirkiran friend of mine, you see, named of Teteroon. A good lad. It was right after the calamity that I came across him fallen in the shroud. He nearly died in all the havoc, so I took him in and nursed him back to health best I could. He worked here at Druthers for a spell after that, got to talking about striking out his own. He did, and not long after he cast his lot with a merchant bound for Lanasia. Well, it just so happens I got to cleaning up around here and came across something of his... this scarlet earring. I know he is fond of the thing, but he must have forgotten it when he left, so I'd like to see to it that he gets it. Can't say for sure where he ended up, but he might be a friend of mine that can. A Rocketed fellow named Bainsyung. You can find him at Hawker's Alley in Limsa. He knows everything of the comings and goings of merchants there. That's an awful, just random trek. Yeah, just go to Limsa, would you?